Carl's Jr. ad brings back bikini-clad burger models after years-long clampdown. They're bringing sexy back to advertising, chat. Look at this. Make America hot again. Damn right. Carl's Jr., which ditched sexualized commercials 8 years ago, is bringing back its bikini and burgers formula to the Super Bowl. TikTok influencer Alex Earl stars in a new commercial from Carl's Jr. promoting its new hangover burger for football fans needing to pick me up after game day. So here's the one ad. Just what you need to cure that post-party bug, Earl says, dressed in a skimpy outfit as she parades through a car wash and takes a bite of the super loaded breakfast burger. Now, I remember these these ads back in the day where it would just be like a hot girl in a bikini who like takes like the biggest bite she possibly could out of these like triple stacked burgers and shit like that, and there would be like mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard like dripping all over her chin and stuff like that, and then she'd sexily like wipe it off with her thumb and suck it off her thumb and stuff like that. It was incredible, absolutely incredible ads. It's so like blatant that it's like I don't know how anybody could find it offensive, because it's like it takes it to like almost like parody levels, you know what I mean? But it's like they were brilliant. They were super famous ads. Let's see here. Ads starring writhing models including Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian were once a staple of the fast food franchise. Yeah, I remember Paris Hilton did a bunch of them. It even put out a press release in 2011 that said, "We believe in putting hot models in our commercials because ugly ones don't sell burgers." I mean, this is common knowledge, though. I mean, the fact that this is a controversial statement, you know, just tells you like where we've been. And I say where we've been and not where we are, because clearly it is very clear that the age of woke is rapidly coming to an end. And we really are going to look back at this era of history, which is essentially like the Trump era. Biden was like just like a glitch in the matrix that fucked everything up. But this is going to be known as like the Trump era of history. And people are going to be look back at this woke mind virus shit and be like, what in the hell happened to society during this time frame? You know, just mass propaganda of nonsense and just contradictory, ridiculous, ideological, crazy bullshit that just somehow took over every single institution in America. You know, from government institutions, you know, from the Department of Education, pretty much every department for that matter, the EPA, ATF, all of them, all the way into the private sector, in every element of the private sector. And people are going to look back and just be like, how in the hell were so many people convinced to go along with this dumbass, crazy, mind-numbing shit? It'll be fascinating. I really do hope that I get to live long enough to eventually get the 20th edition of a high school history book that is revised to like add like a whole section about this decade, you know, from 2015 to 2025. And honestly, it'll probably go to 2030 because, you know, it's not going to disappear overnight. It's going to take some time to like fully root it out. And it's not going to get completely, fully eradicated. I don't think that's possible to get rid of it 100%, but it'll be quelled enough where, you know, regular normal reality will become, well, just that again, regular normal reality. And man, I look forward to getting being able to look at high school history books that teach this, at, you know, whatever they end up calling it, you know, the era of woke or whatever they call it, and just looking, you know, reading back and be like, wow, I remember so much of that insane mass hysteria time of my life, and how I somehow managed to avoid it. Oh, man. Andrew Puzder, former CKE Restaurants chief executive, had defended the trademark commercials just months prior as President Trump had nominated him in his first term to be labor secretary. I think that any grocery store that you go into or drugstores, you're going to see on a magazine covers things that are more revealing than you saw in many of our ads. True. Just look at the cover of fucking fitness magazines. We saved the company with those ads. We saved a lot of jobs. That's true. Like they got a huge spike in business as a result of these ads. They were super famous. Everybody loved them. How it gets remembered is determined by who gets to write the books. That's true. But the thing is like there will be. You do bring up a good point there, but I think that a part of writing the history will have to be like because they're talking about the abolition of the Department of Education, right? And if that happens, that means that all education will be and curriculum will be in the hands of the state, which means you're going to get all the red states are going to commission, if they don't already exist, they're going to commission history books to be written that talk about the era of woke. You know what I mean? And that's going to become standard in red states. So you're going to see a good portion of history books talk about the era of woke in the way that it should be talked about, which is essentially a giant time of mass hysteria. You're going to see that and I think that it's very likely to happen, the Department of Education does eventually get abolished. I think it does reflect a shift in how the country is feeling. Yeah, he's very correct. Tim Calkins, a clinical professor of marketing and associate chair of the marketing department at Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management, told the Wall Street Journal. Jesus, look at this. Come on. Can I not open this? Here, I'll just zoom in. Thank you, Carl. Or Hardee's, whatever the hell it's called. I approve. And it's hilarious too, because I remember back when these ads were like prevalent back, more than a decade ago. Everybody kind of made fun of them because it's like there's no way that you can maintain this kind of a body eating what she's eating in the ad. Like if you're eating these kinds of burgers, you are not going to look like this. There's no way that's happening. Right about there. Clearly, with the new administration, what is acceptable conduct is changing, and I think you're seeing Carl's Jr. jump right on that trend as one of the first brands that's really pushing the edge on things like this. No, it's smart. This is getting ahead of the game and returning to a classic ad campaign, because number one, the ad campaign already has notoriety. So just returning to it is a brilliant idea on their part. And they're trying to engage it. They're being proactive in trend setting. It's great. Like I guarantee you, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are going to see a jump in business as a result of this. With the rest of that burger she ate from, right? The ad almost certainly wouldn't have run several years ago when gender equality and diversity were larger focuses in American mainstream culture. Earl, who has racked up over 7 million followers by sharing her party girl lifestyle on TikTok and hosts her own Hot Mess podcast, shared the ad with her followers on Wednesday. This is the new world with new rules and new rulers. Alex Earl is a social media empress. Jennifer Tate, chief marketing officer at Carl's Jr. parent company CKE Restaurants, told the Journal. Carl's Jr. is having so much fun doing things other brands are too timid to do. And that's so true, too. Like, I love the fact that she says that they're having fun doing this, because that's another thing that the whole woke culture kind of abolished across the institutions was fun. They were the fun police. I mean, we saw what happened to like the decimation of stand-up comedy and how that's like it's kind of made a comeback. But before the woke era, stand-up comedy was massive. It was huge. It's been making a comeback recently, but I mean, it basically went underground during the height of the woke era. I mean, really, it was like Joe Rogan, talking to other comedians on his show and stuff like that. Dave Chappelle actually, I think, contributed to keeping it alive in the underground, and actually, the specials he had on Netflix actually kind of helped it start coming back, essentially. But yeah, the woke were the fun police, and the fact that they say like they're having fun, not just bringing sexy back, but they're having fun doing it. It's very much a rebuke of woke culture. And it's also good to note that they're saying like this is coming from the parent company of Carl's Jr., which means it's not just Carl's Jr. CKE Restaurants is basically in support of this, which means I don't know what's under the umbrella of CKE, but it means that I think there's a chance that we see a return to similar kind of, bring sexy back under the umbrella of CKE. So, beyond Carl's Jr. potentially. We'll see. So, yeah, very good to see. Fun, sexy, coming back at Carl's Jr. All for it.